Hi, welcome back to Film Summary. Today I'm going to explain an American supernatural horror film that is titled Umma. This means mother. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The movie is about a woman called Amanda. Amanda, a Korean immigrant who live a quiet life with Chris, her daughter, on an American farm. At the beginning of the movie she had nightmares and remained haunted by the old memories of her mother when she was in Korea. Some of the memories included when she was been electrocuted as punishment. She screamed and begged to be let free. She was abused by her mother when she was growing up, and this troubled her mentally and emotionally. As a grown woman, Amanda is scared that she might emulate her mother's method of parenting and bringing up Chris. Amanda claimed to be allergic to electricity and modern technology. But the real fact is that she's scared whenever she sees electrical wires in the rest, because it reminds her of her upbringing when she was tortured with electrical appliances. Amanda and Chris, her homeschool daughter, live on a rural farm. Both of them raised bees, process and sell the honey. They also raise chickens, but in all of these they do not using any modern technology. They enjoy each other's company, laugh together, play together, and sometimes read together. One night, as both of them slept in their respective rooms, there was heavy lightning and thunder strikes. Chris woke up and was scared. She ran to her mother's room, calling her, only to find out that Amanda was hiding and shivering in fear behind her wardrobe. The presence of Chris countered down, and both of them started humming a melody. The next morning their honey distributor came to get some honey and broke a great news to her that he can hardly keep up to order, as the demand is now higher than the supply. He said that an online influencer posted the honey on social media and it went viral. Although both of them does not understand what social media meant, but were quite impressed. Amanda planned to increase her output quantity, which will also require more workforce. Chris is excited about their honey bin sold out, but not happy that she is not in college. As they talk, Amanda sent her an errand to make a delivery. Chris went off with her bicycle. Still on the road, she was stopped by an incoming car whose owner is her mother's uncle. He is looking for direction. He speaks a foreign language of which Chris couldn't understand. Chris has never met him before, hence she doesn't know the R family. She rode off. As the man zoomed off, he drove straight to Amanda's home. At seeing this, she was scared and tried to stop him but couldn't. He stepped out of his car and introduced himself as his uncle. Amanda didn't recognize him. It's been 17 years ago she left everyone still scared of the engine sound of the modern car and cell phone. She told her uncle to stop the engine and put away his cell phone before approaching. That was strange, right? He demanded why. She responded that she can't be close to electricity. He welcomed to the house. When asked about her husband, Amanda denied that she doesn't have husband and she doesn't think she need one. Uncle is quite surprised about her changes, especially her fear for electricity. He asked, when did this start? She answered that she has been like that since the birth of Chris. As their discussion continued, he broke a sad news to her that her mother is dead. She died few months ago of heart attack, and that her mother kept calling her name even to her last breath. Her mood changed as her uncle started accusing her that she is the cause of her mother's death. That what kind of daughter will abandon her aged mother? As her uncle kept talking, her imagination went wild that she could visualize her mother sitting close by. He said because Amanda denied her obligation to take care of her, now she is trapped in this world, and her anger will grow as long as she remain in the box he brought. The box contained the remains of her mother. Infuriated, Amanda sent him out of the house, but he left the box on the table. He parted with these words: her pain will turn into poison and seep into her hour. Mother always get what she wants. You know what she is capable of. After she kept mute and stared at the box for some time, she heard a sound from Chris' room. Quick went there to check. There she saw a large envelope bearing a university name. She heard Chris' voice back from the delivery when she was about reading the letter. She immediately forbade Chris from touching the box. Amanda took the box upstairs to her room. She couldn't sleep but gazed at the box. She took courage, stepped forward and opened the box. Behold, it's her dead mother's head wrapped in a silver linen. She hallucinated seeing the head open her mouth. She quickly covered it and locked the box. But she kept having hallucinations. At a time in the middle of the night, she heard Chris's voice screaming for help from the dark in a far distance. She ran out of the house following the voice, but she saw no one except her imaginary mother, who appeared and disappeared. She looked and saw one of her chicks. She bent to pick it up, but suddenly her mother appeared and stepped on it. Amanda screamed in fear. Then, Chris rushed out to help her mother. Chris started noticing her mother acting weird. She brought out the envelope and asked Chris about it, if she wants to go college. Chris said no because she doesn't want to hurt her mother. She knew her didn't like the idea of her going to college. Amanda also queried Danny, their honey distributor, on why he is encouraging her to go to college. Danny said it a nice idea for her to go to school, make some friend, learn to live life of her own a little, as we know she is not going to stay with her mother forever. Amanda's hallucinations got worse and over time. Sometimes, she see her mother trying to strangle her. In such occasions, after pushing away her mother, she finds out that it's Chris she just pushed away. This got Chris really worried at the recent drastic changes happening to her mother. Sometimes, Chris sees her mom permanently locking up the basement. Strange things kept happening. At one evening, Chris asked her mom what's happening and what's in the suitcase. Amanda immediately shut her down by saying she is fine. Chris was no longer comfortable with these secrets her mother kept hiding from her. At night, Chris sneaked out to the basement. She broke the chains and descended into the basement. She went towards the suitcase and tried to open it, but her torch flashed towards her grandmother's photo, and her torch immediately went off. Suddenly there was a lot of visual and sound distractions which stirred up fear in her. Something's went wrong and was trapped in the basement for a while. At same in the night, Amanda was hallucinating. But the voice of Chris shouting for help brought her to her sense. She rescued Chris from the basement. Chris came out with her grandmother's photos. She demanded answers from Amanda as to who is on the picture. At first, Amanda didn't want to tell her the truth. But when Chris threatened to leave the home for her to keep the secrets to herself, she became remorseful and told Amanda the whole truth about the suitcase and her mother. As they analyzed the substances in the suitcase, Amanda became possessed by her mom's spirit. The next day, Amanda invited Danny to come with her niece and join them in a game tonight. At night, they started the Scrabble game, but Chris and Danny's niece were bored and requested to go upstairs to Chris to chat. As they talk, Danny's niece brought out her phone, which scared Chris. She told her to pull away her phone, that her mother gets sick with electricity. But Danny's niece said she has been with the phone since all of them have been together downstairs. But Amanda has been fine. This really got Chris thinking as to what Danny's niece said. Because she got a point. In the morning, Chris went to where the electric switch is and then turned it on. She went back to her room only to find out that her application paper has been ruined. She accused Amanda of ruining her application, but Amanda said it's not her, but she believes it's her mother, Chris's grandmother. That she is doing this because she think Chris is trying to run away from the family. Chris was annoyed of her excuses and told her that she is acting like one with mental problems. Both of them burst in an argument and almost fight. Chris rode off with anger to meet Danny. She asked him if he is aware of the electrical sickness her mother claimed to have. She blamed Danny for hiding that from her. Danny claimed he thought she knew. But Chris said, if she knew, she would have done something about it. And then she stormed off. Amanda buried her mother's remains with anger, and it was unbefitting. This angered the spirit of her mother, who started tormenting her aggressively. This continues until she fell and became unconscious. Amanda suddenly becomes more paranoid. She became more fearful to the extent that she gradually became her own mother. Umma successfully possesses Amanda. Chris came back home and found her mother performing the jessa. She also wore a mask and hanbok. Chris attacked by the possessed Amanda, but she managed to avoid being killed after begging for her life. Chris started telling her mother that it's her. Chris. She started reminding her mother of the beautiful moments they both shared. Chris then pushed Amanda and the mask fell out from her face. And she suddenly came to her normal sense. Amanda made up her mind to confront her mother. She forgave her mother for every hurt and abuse she inflicted on her when growing up. Amanda noted that it was right that Umma raised a child all alone in a country far away from home and in her stressful circumstances. He noted that this is not an excuse to abuse her life. This understanding and forgiveness allowed Umma to rest in peace, and she came to a realization and understanding that what she did to Umma was unfair. The movie ends with Amanda being in her right sense, no more hallucinations. She rediscovered her family heritage and shares it with Chris, her daughter. Amanda and Chris also came to terms with Chris's need to live her own life. Like this video. Subscribe to this channel for more videos like this.